So the MLB playoffs start tomorrow. It's a new format. If you're unfamiliar with it, I actually made a video about a couple months ago when they first came out with this. It's basically a 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 4 versus 5, and they basically move on in a 3-game series. It's a best 2 out of 3 in the first round. The next round's a best of 5, and the championship series best of 7, World Series best of 7. So definitely different. More teams make it this year. Seems like a pretty fun format, especially for a shortened season. I don't know if they're going to stick with this, but it is what we have for 2020. So I'll give out some predictions. We'll go over some of the matchups and things like that. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Leave in the comments who you think is going to win the World Series, and let's get into it. So first matchup, best of 3, we have the Dodgers and the Brewers. So this is a 1 versus 8. Dodgers have the 1 seed, of course, and yeah, I mean, I don't really see a way the Brewers win this thing. Of course, anything can happen in baseball. I just don't think the pitching staff's good enough. I mean, Woodruff's been pretty good. He had a great start in his last start. Brett Ederson's been all right, and Josh Lindblom has had his up and down moments. Now, Corbin Burns being out, definitely a big loss for them. And, the Brewers hitting is definitely not terrible. I mean, they have Keston Hiura, Yelich, obviously. Ryan Braun still does some good things here and there. So it's not the worst lineup in the world, but you look at a team like the Dodgers, and they throw out, Clayton Kershaw, who's still pitching very well. Walker Buehler came back from his blister issue. He looked great in his last start. Urias, Dustin May, and, great lineup, of course, adding Mookie Betts, who is day-to-day, but he should be all right. Corey Seager looks like he's back. Chris Taylor once again had a good year for them. Will Smith's back from injury. So this is a very tough team to compete with, of course, and I just don't think the Brewers have the pitching to compete with them. I think if you're a team that has a good pitching staff, anything's possible. But a team like the Brewers, I just don't see it happening. So I think the Dodgers win this one, whether it's in 3 or 4 games. Next matchup is the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Diego Padres. The 5 versus 4, Padres 4, Cardinals 5. So the Padres do scare me right now because the Nelson Lamet's hurt. They have Clevenger who's hurt. They're going to try and play, apparently. I don't know how that's going to go. The Cardinals top 2 in their rotation. I love Jack Flaherty. Adam Wainwright's actually had a pretty nice year for them. There's not much else after that, honestly, so their pitching is a bit concerning. Their bullpen's definitely not as good as San Diego's right now. Hitting-wise, the Cardinals are not awful, I guess. They have some decent names here, but the Padres, hitting-wise, have been great this year. I'm going to ride with the Padres here. I could see the Cardinals winning this, especially if Lamet and Clevenger don't pitch, but assuming they're there, I mean, they have enough bats, of course, Tatis and Machado. Will Myers has been great this year. Trent Grisham's had a great year. Eric Hosmer's been good at some point. So I trust the Padres to win the first round. I'm not high on them to go to the World Series. I'll admit that. But I think for this first round against a team like the Cardinals, I'm going to take the Padres there. Next, we have the 6-seed Marlins, who made the playoffs. Good for them. And the 3-seed Chicago Cubs. The Cubs had a nice season, a shortened season. Part of me really wanted to pick the Marlins here for some reason, but I just couldn't really do it. The Marlins have a decent young rotation. Alcantara's not bad. Sixto Sanchez came up and was great. Pablo Lopez has his moments. So their bullpen, I guess, could be better. I'm not going to lie. But, hitting-wise, the Marlins play a lot of small ball. They'll bunt. They'll steal a lot of bases. I like that about them. Starling Marte's day-to-day, which is not good. He got hit in the hand against the Yankees the other day. Jesus Aguilar had a great year. But for the Cubs, they just, their rotation's so much better, in my opinion. Yu Darvish has been amazing this year. Kyle Hendricks is still good. John Lester's fallen off a bit, I'm not going to lie, but as a third starter, you can probably get by in the first round. The Cubs bullpen definitely scares me. I'm not going to lie about that one, but hitting-wise, I feel like they're a lot better. They have better names here. Contreras, Rizzo. Chris Bryant's had a down year for sure, but, maybe in the playoffs he'll find a way to have a good season or a good series, I should say. Javi Baez is still there, Ian Happ. So, I will take the Cubs to win that one, and as I said, a part of me wanted to take the Marlins there, but I just think the Marlins are not there yet. They might be next year, but I'm going to go with the Cubs for now. Next matchup should be a fun one, honestly. So we have the Reds and the Braves, 7-seed versus the 2-seed. I might be crazy, but I'm going to go with the 7-seed Reds here for the upset. I mean, I like their starting rotation a lot. I talk about Trevor Bauer, Sonny Gray, Luis Castillo. I mean, their bullpen's not terrible. Archie Bradley, Amir Garrett, Raciel Iglesias, it's not the worst. Hitting-wise, they're not too bad either. They still have some good players. And the Braves, outside of Max Fried and maybe Ian Anderson a little bit, I don't trust their rotation too much. Their bullpen always seems to be shaky, the Braves. I don't know why. Hitting-wise, they're probably a bit better than the Reds, but as we know, good pitching usually beats good hitting in the playoffs. So with that being said, I'm going to go with the Reds. Next, we jump to the AL matchups. We start with the Tampa Bay Rays, the 1 seed against the 8 seed Toronto Blue Jays, little AL East matchup. So, as far as I know, this is the first playoff game for a lot of these guys. I mean, this Blue Jay team's very young, of course. I mean, probably Danny Jansen's first one, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Biggio, Bichette. I don't know about Gurriel. I think Grichuk was probably on the Cardinals at one point. But still, a lot of young guys on this team, a lot of first-time playoff experience. I think the Rays win this one pretty easily. I mean, I like Tampa a lot. Their pitching is so good. Talk about Blake Snell, Morton, who hasn't even been that good this year, but he'll be fine in the playoffs. Glasnow, Yarbrough, and then you talk about the bullpen, which is stacked, and Kevin Cash knows how to use those guys. So I think they'll be fine. Now, right now, G-Man Choi and Yandy Diaz are on the IL for 10 days, so we'll see. I think Austin Meadows is out as well, so that's not good. I think Meadows is actually pretty serious, so I don't think he'll play. The other two, Choi and Diaz might play, but I don't really care. I just think their pitching is too good. If Toronto has hot bats for a couple of games, maybe they find a way, but I just think the Rays pitching is too good, so I'll take them in this one. Next, we have a 4 versus 5 seed, the Yankees, my Yankees, number 5, and the Cleveland Indians, number 4. This has the potential to be a very good series as well, just like that Braves and Reds one. So, I mean, the Yankees, of course, they have a great ace now, and Garrett Cole can now finally get it done for them. But outside of that, I don't know if I trust Tanaka this year. I don't know if I trust Jay Happ, who's looked all right. Garcia's a young guy who could start for them. I'm not really sure if he will or not. But you look at Cleveland, they have Shane Bieber, probably going to win Cy Young this year. Carlos Carrasco's bounced back. I mean, having Clevenger would have been nice, but even Zach Plesac's not the worst guy in the world. So Cleveland's bullpen looks all right. The Yankees' bullpen's probably a bit better, so I would take them. Hitting-wise, Cleveland has a lot of sneaky good hitters. I mean, Jose Ramirez just low-key had an MVP year. No one talks about him. Of course, Lindor's still there. So, I mean, they don't have a terrible team. Carlos Santana has a great eye. Him and Aaron Hicks, I think, led the league in walks, so great walks matchup here. Franmil Reyes had a great year for them. But for the Yankees, I just think it really comes down to their big guys, not to make a pun there, but Stanton and Judge, can they hit in the playoffs? And Judge has had a good history of that. They need to keep that going. Gary Sanchez, Gleyber Torres, those guys need to basically do what they can do because they're talented enough to do it. I will take the Yankees. I think it might take 5 games, but I'm going to go with the Yankees to win that one. Next, we have the 6 seed Astros against the 3 seed Minnesota Twins. So this should be a fun one as well. I like both both lineups, I should say. That didn't sound right, but I like both lineups here. They both, obviously the Twins broke the home run record last year. They can hit, as we know. And the Astros still have a lot of great players. I know Altuve had a down year. Wonder why. Bregman's still good. Correa. Kyle Tucker had a great year. I like him. George Springer, Michael Brantley. So, of course, they still have great hitting here. And a guy like Josh Donaldson needs to stay healthy. He's had a bunch of calf issues this year. We'll see if he can play. Byron Buxton's day-to-day. But still have Nelson Cruz, Max Kepler, Eddie Rosario, Jorge Polanco, Miguel Sano can hit the ball 500 feet, Mitch Garver. So I think both teams are pretty even in a way. I mean, Houston has a young rotation outside of Greinke. I mean, there's Greinke, then there's Lance McCullers, who had some experience back in 2017. Then you have young guys like Valdez or Urquidy, Javier. Can they step up and be that third starter? Their bullpen, I guess, isn't that great. Roberto Ozuna's been out most of the year. Brad Peacock's out. Josh James, who just walks everybody anyway, but he's out. So it's going to be a close one, I think, but I'm going to take the Twins here. I like them a bit more. Maeda's been great for the Twins this year as a starter. Barrios. Michael Pineda's back. Rich Hill's healthy for once. So, yeah, I will take the Twins there. I think it could go 5 games. I could see the Astros winning it as well, but I'm going to go with the Twins in this one. Last for the AL, we have the 7 seed Chicago White Sox against the 2 seed Oakland A's. This has the potential to be another fun series. Now, the A's don't have Matt Chapman, which sucks. I would definitely like them a lot more if they had him. I still will say the A's win this, but I think Chicago has an actual chance here. So, I mean, their rotation outside of Giolito and Keuchel, I don't really trust anybody else. I mean, Dunning is whatever. Dylan Cease is sometimes wild. Reynaldo Lopez got blown up yesterday. So, I don't know if I trust them. I think their bullpen could be a bit better as well. But hitting-wise, Chicago is really good, a young lineup that's very good. But pitching-wise, the Oakland Athletics have been great. Best bullpen in the league, I think. Starting-wise, guys like Frankie Montas, Sean Manaea have to step up. Chris Bassett. I think they have Mike Minor now as well. So, I mean, they could be all right. The A's, I mean, they find a way to get runs across the board. I don't know how they do it. They don't have the best lineup right now, but It's not terrible, I guess. They traded for Tommy LaStella, who's been really good for them. Jake Lamb, I think, has been all right filling in for Chapman. So they'll be all right. I think their pitching's good enough to win this series at least. I'll take the A's in this one, but I would like them more if Chapman was in, but I'll still take them for this. All right, so to wrap this up, we'll fly through the rest of it and just go over who I think is going to win. So for the NL divisional round, I guess we can call it, or division series, talking about football now. So it'll be the LA Dodgers against the San Diego Padres. I will take the Dodgers there. If I knew Lamet and Clevenger were completely healthy, I might go San Diego, but the Dodgers are so damn good. I'm not going to pick against them. Then it would also be the Cubs against the Reds. Now, based on the seeding, I should pick the Cubs, but I don't trust them as much, so I'm going to go with the Reds. I still trust that rotation. I'm going to hope that Castillo and Sonny Gray and Trevor Bauer are good, so I'm going to have it as the Dodgers and the Reds in the NL Championship Series. Now, while I like both teams, I'm going to take the Dodgers. I think they're just stacked everywhere. The Dodgers, they're probably going to win the World Series this year, let's be honest. So I'm going to take the Dodgers there. For the AL, we would have the Rays against the Yankees. Now, I don't want the Yankees to lose, but the Rays have had the Yankees number this year. So I'm going to go with the Rays to win that one. The Yankees have yet to figure them out, it seems like. Below them, we have the Twins against the A's. So I'm going to go with the Twins. I mean, of course, I talked about the A's having a great bullpen, great pitching, but the Twins just hit so well. I trust Maeda now. Barrios, hopefully, is all right. So I'm going to go with the Twins. They have the great hitting. I think their bullpen's all right. I mean, of course, Oakland has the best bullpen right now, but I think the Twins' bullpen's good enough. And my World Series, actually, no. Then it would be the Rays and the Twins in the Championship Series. So while I wanted to pick the Rays, they do have some more injuries right now. Not having Austin Meadows kind of scares me, and G-Man Choi and Yandy Diaz, guys like that. So, I mean, I'm going to go with Minnesota. I definitely could see the Rays winning this one. I'm definitely going against myself here because I just talked about how pitching's more important, but I'm going to go with the team with the better lineup. So maybe I'm going against my own feelings there, but still, I'm going to go with the LA Dodgers and the Minnesota Twins in the World Series. And I guess to win it, I'm going to go with the Dodgers. I picked them in the beginning of the year, so I'm not going to, change it now. So I'll take the Dodgers. They're coming in pretty healthy for the most part. I know Mookie Betts kind of got hurt, but he'll be all right. I'm trying to think who else they lost. I think that's pretty much it. So I'll go with the Dodgers. They should have the best chance and probably the best odds to win this thing, so I'll go with them. Not sure about the Twins, though, but it will be fun. I'm pretty excited for the MLB playoffs this year. It's going to be fun to watch. But once again, leave in the comments who you think is going to win. Maybe leave a playoff bracket as well. I think MLB is having a playoff bracket challenge for like $100,000. So if you're interested, then go ahead and do that. But thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.